Leaders from various sectors have gathered near Winterton in the Drakensberg to discuss issues affecting the country. They are taking part in the Drakensberg Inclusive Growth Forum hosted by the Kgalema Motlanthe Foundation, which is where we find eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos, and she joins me live from Drakensberg. Heidi, a lot of very important topics discussed today. Have you got a guest with you?
Yes, I do, Michael Apple. Specifically speaking to local government, local economies and town planning, we have the Deputy Minister of Kokta, Parks Tau, to join us on this discussion. Thank you so much, Minister, for your time. You had an interesting discussion about urban areas. We understand that urban areas within cities are bursting at the seams. And while this is a good sign of, urbanization being a good sign of economic growth, can our cities actually handle this influx?
Well, our cities are continuing to confront the challenge of urbanization, and the reality of that urbanization is that it manifests in people locating themselves in inappropriate locations, people locating themselves in slums, in informal settlements, and the difficulties that our municipalities face with regards to investing in the requisite infrastructure. And we are now thinking that it is important that we find creative solutions to financing local government and enabling local government, particularly our urban centers, to confront this challenge.
Okay, and then I want to speak about xenophobia. We've seen recent xenophobia hitting lots of parts of our country, and it seems as though it's hitting densely populated areas. What is your take on this?
First, it's a contest for resources. It's people saying that we are contesting for jobs, we're contesting for opportunity, we're contesting for the right to have a job. And that reality is something that we need to confront. We need to enable the country to be inclusive, but in a manner that facilitates economic access for everybody. We need a regulatory environment that is more certain about how you employ, how you trade, who can trade in what circumstances, and how that is done. And I think that that's going to be important, because you need to limit the tension that's potentially created between South Africans and foreign nationals. And by limiting that, you would be able to mitigate xenophobia as a trend, because in reality we do have, like many other countries, regulations that govern who and how people can employ, the number of people that can be employed that are foreign nationals, but we don't always adhere to that, and those create unnecessary tension. So we need to mitigate that tension by administering our regulations better.
Okay, and then just lastly, I want you to speak to me about this new service delivery model that's set to basically empower more local municipalities. Many seem to be panicked about this new kind of model, but perhaps talk us through this and how this new model could perhaps empower and resource more municipalities, because we are seeing that many local municipalities are struggling to deal with the service delivery.
Firstly, what we say is that the new district development model is about taking forward the Intergovernmental Relations Framework Act that makes provision for joint planning and joint implementation by government. It is about supporting local government in instances where you need to provide the necessary support, technical capacity, and institutional support, but it's also about enabling government, that's provincial and national government, to work alongside local government in their areas of implementation, so that you have a joined up government and joint initiatives that address the local challenges. Because in reality, when you're national government, your implementation happens at a local level. So it is about integrating those plans and ensuring that there's more efficient spending, and that we're able to measure each other against a set number of objectives that we've all agreed to. But it's also about involving stakeholders, because it's a mechanism of ensuring that social partners come on board and become partners in the process of implementation and confronting our development challenges.
And when will this new model be implemented? Because many South Africans get frustrated at the lack of service delivery that many municipalities, they don't deliver on what they should, basic services. When are you guys planning to implement this new kind of model to basically give more power to these local municipalities that need the help?
We've already started with the process of implementation. The President launched in the OR Tambo district the first prototype, as we say, of implementing the district model. in September. We're currently in this month. In fact, on Friday, this coming Friday, we'll be implementing in the eThekwini municipality, and the following month we'll be going to the Waterberg district. But we're saying that these are prototypes because we are going to use these as learning platforms to ensure implementation. We intend to develop profiles for all the regions in our country by the end of this year, and to ensure that the first level of planning starts from next year. So we're moving at breakneck speed to ensure that we're able to create the necessary institutional mechanism. But part of what that includes is about creating what we call district hubs for the 44 districts and the 8 metropolitan municipalities, so that we're able to create capacity. Where you need engineers, you're able to employ engineers. You need town planners, you're able to employ town planners. Financial managers and accountants, you're able to employ this, so that when you say government's primary duty is to provide support to local government, we do it in practice, and we're able to measure how we do that. But the very same hubs that we're establishing would also be mechanisms of ensuring that we're able to coordinate the work of provincial and local and national government in the geographic spaces of those districts.
Great. Thank you so much, Minister. We really appreciate your time. Thank you. So that was the Deputy Minister of COGTA, specifically speaking about urbanization, also speaking about this new model that's trying to give more capacity and power to local municipalities, given the fact that there is such an issue with the capacity and resources in specific local municipalities, and that obviously has a big impact on service delivery. The sessions are about to end today, but we do understand that a few more sessions will kick off tomorrow. Back to you, Apple.